It's the G League Finals, Game 2, here at the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. It's your Blue Coats halftime show. Nick Allison journey alongside Jason McCall. The Blue Coats were down by as many as 23 early in that first quarter. They have cut the lead to 12 here at the break, 69-57. It was a rough start, though, tonight, Jason, for the Blue Coats.
Yeah, very rough start. They couldn't really buy a basket, getting out-rebounded severely in the first quarter, and they let the Vipers shoot a lot of threes, and they made a lot of threes and got a lot of foul calls. But late in that second quarter, it started to get some momentum going and started to get a few baskets going in. And right now, like you said, again, the lead's cut down to 12.
Let's take a look at some of these stats in front of us. For your Delaware Blue Coats, Jared Brownridge, him and Aaron Henry both lead the way with 11 points. Brownridge, 3 triples here tonight, keeping the Blue Coats in it. Kareem Manet, he's in double digits with 10. And then Miles Powell with 9. Struggling a little bit to get going, but you know he's going to eventually find his rhythm.
Yeah, Miles was struggling early on, but as the second quarter wore on, it got a little comfortable. But the Blue Coats, in order to win this game, they're going to have to limit their turnovers and ask to do some clean passes, some crisp cutting, and just running offensive sets.
Again, yeah, not a lot of movement we saw offensively out of the Blue Coats there in the first half, but what we thought in the pregame did end up being true. No Jaden Springer tonight. He is in street clothes. He is out with an injury. No Charles Bassey tonight. And obviously no Charlie Brown Jr. out due to health and safety protocols. So it's an uphill battle. But the Coats able to fight back and cut it to 12. Should be a great second half here at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, it should be a great second half, Nick. I would say for the Blue Coats, continue what worked well for you at the end of that second quarter. Move the ball around, drive to the basket, play the passing lanes, and just give all-out effort. Effort will sometimes win you a game when the ball's not going in the basket.
Again, let's look at some of these team stats. Shooting percentage, Vipers shooting 45% from the floor. The Blue Coats at 35. Three-point percentage, 37-25 in favor of the Blue Coats actually there. And then rebounds, though, able to cut it down a bit in that second quarter. They were getting out-rebounded, I believe, 21-4 after one. It's now 30-21, so able to battle back on the glass. Cappengelly, though, he's able to have his way in that first half. Not a big center, not a big body we can throw on him here from the Blue Coats. 18-8 for Dikembe Mutombo's nephew there in that first half.
Yeah, he's playing like Mutombo, but he's a way better offensive player than his uncle was. But in the second half, they're going to have to double team him a bit more and get the ball out his hands and live with the shooters around him trying to make shots. But he cannot dominate the way he did in that very first quarter of the game.
And again, Jason, we're going to be joined by some special guests here at halftime in just a little bit. But before we get there, give me your keys to the game for the Blue Coats. What do they got to do? You mentioned a few things already to get back in this game and extend this final series to 3 games.
I would say number 1, rebound. Rebound, rebound, rebound. Everything starts from rebounding. You can get out on the break and you can extend plays when you're on offense. And number 2, play better defense in the second half. I mean, at the end of the second quarter, started to play a little bit more defense, get some deflections, some steals, play the passing lanes. But I would say rebounding, defense, and actually moving the ball around on offense. You have to move the ball against this team. You can't just stand still and just let everybody just go one-on-one.
Again, the Blue Coats were down by as many as 23 in the first. They cut it to 12 here at the half. Blue Coats trailing the Rio Grande Vipers 69-57. We'll be right back on your Blue Coats halftime show right here on DETV. And welcome back into your Blue Coats halftime show. Nick Alessandrini and Jason McCall. And Jason, just moments away from a few special guests here on DETV. We're going to have the mayor of Wilmington and the governor, John Carney, and Mayor Mike Percycki here joining us here at halftime for what has been a phenomenal night here in Wilmington at the Chase Fieldhouse. And on cue, Governor John Carney, thanks for joining me again. Good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Great.
Awesome.
We talked last time, me and you talked was here for that first playoff game back in the first round, and we said we would love to be back here again because that would mean it's a G League Finals trip for the Delaware Blue Coats, and how about that? Here we are.
It's really great. Really, the atmosphere is electric. I mean, this crowd is awesome. We just need a big man. You know, we got
Cappengelli's having some success on the other side, huh? The big
oh
fella.
my God, we're just a little undersized tonight. We got Charlie Brown up with the big team, and the good news is the Sixers are in the playoffs.
Exactly right.
And their team is not. The bad
they
news.
Down some guys over there, didn't they?
That's exactly right. And the bad news is, we don't have our guys that are up with our big team, and hopefully they'll win that series. But this is just great for Wilmington. It's great for Delaware. It's unbelievable basketball.
It is. It's
really fast-paced. I love our guys, the way they fight. I don't think we have a guy over 6'6". So.
Here we go, Cody joining us here at the halftime show, and Governor Carney, they were down by more than 20 there in that first quarter.
I know, they fought back.
Able to battle back.
That's when you have a game where you rely on three-point shooting, it can change pretty fast. You miss a couple, the other team makes a couple, all of a sudden, a 10-point game, you erase that difference pretty quick. What do you think?
And Governor, you touched on it, the crowd here, the electricity in the air here at the Fieldhouse, one of the best crowds we've seen here all year long. The stands are packed. Cody's up here. We're on the balcony packed up here as well. Just talk a little bit about this environment.
Yeah, it's just a great scene. It's just so very exciting for our city, our town, for the Blue Coats, for the Sixers. To have something like this in Wilmington at this great facility, it's just awesome. There's no other way to say it. We got a great diverse crowd, city residents, suburban residents, people from all over, basketball fans. It's just awesome, really awesome.
And did you get your rally towel on the way in?
I didn't get my ride. I was a little bit late. I had to work in Dover today. We signed a bill that's going to give every Delawarean a $300 rebate.
So you have it.
The fight to rising gas prices, inflation, $300 back to every Delaware taxpayer.
Oh, how about that? That's great news. Governor Carney sharing that with everyone here on DETV. And before we let you go, what do you think the keys are to the game here for the Blue Coats in the second half? What do they got to do cutting it to 12 here?
Yeah, they got to shoot the three and make them. They got to battle under the boards like they are. They're undersized in there. And I think they've switched to a zone. I think slowing them down a little bit has helped. Just going to have to make shots.
Absolutely. I knew I could ask you that question because I knew you would have a good answer. Governor Carney, thank you so much for joining us here at halftime. Let's have a good second half.
Okay, go.
Governor Carney here fooling around here with Cody, and we're ready to go, right? We're ready for a big second half here out of the Blue Coats down by just 12, and now we're going to welcome in Mayor Mike Percycki, the mayor of Wilmington, going to join me here in a second, and with the governor talking here shortly before we get him on. And again, what a night here in Wilmington at the Fieldhouse. A huge crowd, and we're so happy now to be joined by the mayor of Wilmington, Mike Percycki. Mike, so happy to have you on here. I see you sitting at half court down there. What's it like being at half court for a G League Finals game?
I was at half court with Doc Rivers. That's even better.
Right. How about that? We saw that. How's
There
it
you
going?
go.
Thinking some game plans for Saturday?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Is he thinking
that's
of
right.
some game
I
strategy
didn't
for
talk
Saturday?
to him. I didn't want to bother him. He's bothered by so many people. I didn't even want to. So this is great. No, I'm astonished. I'm astonished by the quality of the basketball, and I shouldn't be. I've seen games before, but this is another level of intensity. Playoff basketball. That's everybody rises way up high, and it's exciting as can be.
It is, and again, the electricity in the air here tonight at the Chase Fieldhouse. You were down on the floor. Talk a little bit about this crowd we have here in Wilmington tonight. Both sides of the stands really filling up here at the Fieldhouse. It's been electric tonight.
Yeah, I was telling Chris Heck and Larry Mila, I said, you got a whole bunch of people introduced to your game now. They'll all be back. They'll come back this year. When we went through the pandemic, you didn't have people out here. you're trying to drum up support for something that people weren't familiar with. All of a sudden, they come here, they see the excitement, all the entertainment. Kids love it. They'll be back. They got to be silly not to be back. It's a great product.
Exactly right. I mean, how could you not want to come back? We said here they had the first playoff here about a week and a half ago on that Tuesday. We said we'd love to be back. Does that mean they'd be playing in the finals? Here we are, and what a crowd here tonight at the Fieldhouse. Blue Coats were down by 20 early, able to cut it down to 12 here at the break. What'd you see out of the Blue Coats there to wind down that half? They're starting to put a little bit together.
Yeah, it's so funny about this game. Basketball, the story gets told all the time. Team goes up by 20 points, and you figure the other guys have no chance at all. Once the tide starts to turn, all of a sudden the other guys win. You said, how'd that happen? So
it's a game of runs,
it's
right?
exciting. It is a game of runs.
It is, again,
like
Blue
politics.
Coats. That's right.
Just like politics.
That's right. Both pretty tough in their own respected fields. Absolutely. And obviously, we're the Wilmington here at the Fieldhouse. Let's talk a little bit about the city of Wilmington and everything that's been going on there here recently.
We're doing so well, and not only in the downtown and in the on the riverfront, but in our neighborhoods, and then down here on Riverfront East. Everywhere you turn around, you got so much going on. They're building soccer fields that the kids are playing in throughout this whole area. We're blessed. We got so many good things going on.
It is, really is. And again, Mayor Mike Percycki here, the mayor of Wilmington, joining me here at halftime. Delaware Blue Coats G League Finals, Game 2 against the Rio Grande Vipers. Before I let you go, Mayor, again, thanks for finding the time to join me here at the halftime. What do the Blue Coats got to do to get a victory here to force this decisive Game 3?
I think they just got to ride that little momentum, and they're good.
Ride the momentum. They already cut it to 12. We'll see if they can cut deeper into that deficit here in the third quarter. For Nick Alessandrini and your mayor, Wilmington, Mike Percycki, we will see you at the postgame right here on DETV. Blue Coats